time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Chicago Cubs. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Game 2 of the 4-game series with the Cubs. Dodgers winning last night, so they've won 3 of 5. Tonight is a rematch. It'll be left-hander Randy Wolf, who beat the Cubs 2-1 and beat his opponent tonight, Randy Wells. Wells is a 9-game winner, and Wolf has won 7 and lost 6. For the Dodgers and the Cubs, as we have their eyes on that one, over in Colorado, the Giants begin a 4-game series with the Rockies, so we'll be playing scoreboard, really, for the first time this year. Dodgers right now maintaining their 3.5-game lead against Colorado. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this.
Ceremonial first pitch. Throughout the season, we enjoy the heroism of our boys of summer. But tonight, our players help recognize who the real heroes are. They work day and night in offices and laboratories trying desperately to save our lives, and they do so without thousands of fans cheering their every move. Won't you please now join us as we put the spotlight on the particular doctors and researchers
Dodger Stadium for Game 2 of the 4-game series with the Cubs. It's also the 6th meeting of the year, and the Dodgers, by winning last night, have won 3 of 5. But there's a lot more on our minds than just a baseball game. Everyone connected with the Dodgers extremely conscious of the dedication tonight to Think Cure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers, accelerating collaborative research to cure cancer. And we are asking you straight on, one-on-one, we are begging you to donate today. We have honored a lot of people here at Dodger Stadium when we've used the term somewhat loosely, talking about, let's say, Russell Martin hits a grand slam last night, and he would be a hero. But tonight, our players help recognize who the real heroes are. They work day and night in offices, laboratories, trying desperately to save our lives, and they do so with thousands of fans not there to cheer their every move. So we put the spotlight on the particular doctors and researchers who are each one a recipient of the funds raised by Think Cure to conduct research right here in Los Angeles. That number, by the way, and we'll repeat it throughout the game, 866-554-CURE. Or, for that matter, you can just go on the computer, thinkcure.org. Now we'll get to the game. As Lou Piniella sits quietly, simmering over the fact he has fallen 7 games back of the Cardinals. The Cubby lineup, as they call it in Chicago: Ryan Theriot, Milton Bradley, and Derek Lee. Aramis Ramirez at third and Jeff Baker at second. Alfonso Soriano in left field. They changed the catcher tonight. It's Giovanni Soto. And they changed the center fielder from Fukudome to Sam Fuld. And the pitcher, right-hander Randy Wells, who has won 9. On the mound for the Dodgers, left-hander Randy Wolf with a record of 7-6, 1-0 against the Cubs, and he beat Randy Wells, in a very well-pitched ball game, and the final score was 2-1. So they look up again, and tonight it'll be in the 6th meeting. They play again tomorrow afternoon and then wrap it up on Sunday. Tomorrow afternoon, the knuckleballer Charlie Hager will go against Ted Lilly, and on Sunday, Ryan Dempster and Chad Billingsley. Another note about the Dodgers and the Cubs, it seems absolutely incredible, but it is true. When they met last night, if you look back through the years that the Cubs and the Dodgers have battled each other head-to-head, would you believe prior to last night's game, the Dodgers had beaten the Cubs 1,014 games, and the Cubs had beaten the Dodgers 1,014 games. Well, the Dodgers, by winning last night, are 1 up, and now we will see whether they continue that or not in Game 2 of the series. So Randy Wolf, who has turned in a couple of dandies and trying to move out in front with a record of 7-6. Remember Randy's last game, he dominated Arizona with his arm and with his bat. So Wolf up on top, and we're about ready to go. And the crowd settling in as Theriot, Bradley, and Lee in that order. Ryan Theriot out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, takes the first pitch in for a strike, and we're underway. Ryan Theriot went to LSU, met his wife there. She was a cheerleader. Here's the strike one pitch on the way, and Theriot takes a slow curve off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Theriot tells a story about meeting his wife, and he said, she didn't really care for me. I had a shaved head, I was 30 pounds heavier, and I had earrings in each ear. She didn't quite go for that. Well, he cleaned up his act, and they're happily married for the last 7 years. So Ryan Theriot, Milton Bradley, and Derek Lee. One of the problems for the Cubs is not only the Western Division, but on the road. He hits a hopper back at first. Loney is up with it, feeding his man Wolf coming over, and just like that, 1 away. We will set the Dodgers with the leather. No changes with Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield, and the infield of Loney and Hudson for Call and Blake, and the battery of Wolf and Martin. So one away, Milton Bradley checking in. Bradley last night went 0 for 4, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Bradley, one reason that I think the Cubs wanted him is the fact it is such a right-hand hitting team. Wolf's fastball is inside, ball one. So they thought with Milton, he can turn around and hit left-handed. Well, the problem has been he's hit just .227 left-handed. The 1-0 pitch on the way off the plate. So Bradley has the count his way 2-0. Milton has done well hitting right-handed, .330. But unfortunately for him, he'll see a lot more right-handers than left. 2-0 pitch on the way is swung on, ground ball to the left of Furcal. He makes the turn and throws him out. We were talking a moment ago about the Cubs having trouble on the road against Western Division teams, and it was pointed out by Lou Piniella. The Cubs are 3-11 on the road against Western Division clubs, and Lou thinks his team is tailor-made for Wrigley Field, but not the big parks like Colorado, Arizona, Dodger Stadium, even down south at Petco. Wolf ready and delivers, ground ball hard to Casey Blake, sets for the long throw, and that's it. So the Cubs go 1-2-3 in the first inning. Randy Wolf walks off, and at the end of half an inning, Cubs nothing, Dodgers coming up. Coming up, we'll take a look at Joe Torre's lineup, and no changes. Rafael Furcal, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier. Manny Ramirez hitting cleanup, followed by Casey Blake and James Loney. Then you have Russell Martin, Orlando Hudson, and Randy Wolf. On the mound for the Cubs, Randy Wells, who has won 9. And as he said, if anybody had told me at the start of the year I was going to win 10 games for the Cubs, I would have thought they were crazy. Well, here he is trying to win his 10th tonight. And Randy's fastball in for a strike to Furcal, 0-1 the count. Rafael waiting at the plate, hitting .261. He had a couple of base hits last night, going 2 for 5. Takes a pitch off the plate on a good change. 1 ball and 1 strike. Randy Wells, big fella, 6'5", 230. 27 years old, upcoming, as Furcal hits one down the line, foul, out of play. Randy Wells will celebrate a birthday next Friday, the 28th. He's from Belleville, Illinois. Belleville, Illinois, just across the river from St. Louis, produced a couple of famous people, golfer Bob Goldie and tennis player Jimmy Connors. The pitch is inside to Furcal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wells comes from a very athletic family. Older brother was a football star. Furcal backs off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. His older brother also punted for the University of Illinois football team. His father wore a Cubs jersey only when Randy reached the majors. He was such a Cardinal fan. The 2-2 pitch, a chopper to first, backhanded by Lee to knock it down, feeding Wells coming over, and just like that, one away. So Matt Kemp will be coming up as Furcal grounds out. No score, bottom of the first, light breeze blowing out to right field. Matt Kemp batting .310, 17 home runs, 76 runs batted in. So Matt checking in with one away. You know, talking about Randy Wells winning 9, trying to win 10. He was not drafted until the 38th round 7 years ago, so he was a long shot. And here he is trying to be the first rookie pitcher since Kerry Wood to win double figures. Fastball inside, ball one. Kerry Wood back in 1998 won 13, and Randy trying to win his 10th. He was originally drafted as a catcher. The 1-0 pitch out in front, up along third, picked up by Soto, who fires to first in time for the out. So a little tapper up to the left, 2 down, and Andre Ethier coming up. It is interesting to think, the more you dig in the background of Randy Wells, here's a fella trying to win his 10th in the major leagues. He was drafted as a catcher, and he had never pitched in high school or college. As he said, when I was in high school, I was 5'9". Finally had a growth spurt in his senior year. So Wells with 2 out in the first inning, working on Andre Ethier. Andre hitting .283 and takes ball one. 25 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Nothing fancy about Wells. Fastball, slider, and a changeup. Tried to copy the delivery of Chris Carpenter. Not a bad man to copy. Works it down and away, ball 2. And you start right off at the feet. And you see Randy Wells working at the very edge, the first base side of the pitching rubber, which is the trademark of Carpenter. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Andre swings, fouls it away. 2-1 to count. September last year, Randy Wells wound up with a stress fracture of his right arm, but he's bounced back nicely. Last year with the Cubs, no record. He was only in 3 games. 2-1 pitch, fouled off to the left, out of play. 2-2 the count. When the Dodgers saw Randy Wells at Wrigley, no one really did very well, but James Loney was 2 for 3. Juan Pierre was 2 for 4. There were no home runs. Casey Blake had a run batted in, and so did Rafael Furcal. 2-2 the count to Andre Ethier. Grounded foul right into the Cub dugout, right through the little walkway, and fortunately between 2 Cubs. So Andre's still there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the first inning. We are just starting up. Wells holds the ball at the belt, now turns ready in the 2-2 pitch. Little roller up along third. Tough play. No play as Wells drops the ball while trying to make a throw. But Ethier was going to leg it out anyway. But what it does do for Randy Wells, it means he'll have to pitch out of the stretch to Manny Ramirez. Just a little roller. Wells backhanded it, and then the ball just flipped out of his hands like a piece of wet soap. So Ethier will get himself a squib single. And here is Ramirez, who put on a little bit of a show last night. Man, he had 2 singles and a double, scored twice, hitting .313, 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Ramirez did not play against Randy Wells when these 2 teams met back in May at Wrigley Field. Man, he into the box and then backs out. So he's not quite ready. 2 out, first inning, no score. Casey Blake on deck. Beautiful evening. First pitch was made. It was 74 degrees. Wells set at the belt. looks over his shoulder now to the plate. Fastball pulled foul outside of third down the line, and the count 0-1. An update. Tonight is also the beginning of a 4-game series between the Giants and the Rockies. And the Giants lead 3-1 in the 4th inning. Among other things, Troy Tulowitzki couldn't play. He was sick, and they sent him home. Benji Molina doubled in a run. Nate Shearholtz had a scoring fly ball, and Travis Ishikawa had an RBI single for the Giants 3. Strike one pitch, and Ramirez pulls away. Helton had a base hit, and when that was misplayed for an error, Dexter Fowler scored. That counted for the Rockies' run. However, Aaron Cook, the ace, had to leave the game with an injury, and Josh has just replaced Aaron Cook. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Manny Ramirez. Swung on and popped up, and I mean up. You could grow old waiting for this thing to come down, and it's finally caught by Jeff Baker. You talk about a big league pop fly. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of an inning, no score. Second inning, no score in the ball game. The Cubs and the Dodgers, game 2 of the 4-game series. Report out of Colorado. Aaron Rowan takes Josh Fogg to right field for a 3-run home run, and the Giants have jumped out in front now to a 6-1 lead. So for the Rockies, first they didn't have Tulowitzki, then they lost their pitcher Aaron Cook, and they're down 6-1. Aramis Ramirez, the brilliant third baseman, takes ball 1-0. Missed about 50 games. He broke his left shoulder way back in early May. The 1-0 pitch is taken off the plate. 2-0 the count. You know, if you go back to 2001, coming into this season, no third baseman hit more home runs. No third baseman had more RBIs. The 2-0 pitch swung on and fouled away. So it meant that Aramis had more home runs than Troy Gloss, more home runs than A-Rod, more home runs than Adrian Beltre, more RBIs against Mike Lowell or Adrian Beltre or Scott Rolen. He's the #1 man at third base. 2-1 pitch. He takes a strike. Ramirez, 31 years old, going up against Randy Wolf. No score, second inning. Wolf into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's high, ball 3. Ramirez against Randy Wolf, just 5 for 22, but he does have a home run and 5 RBIs against him. And waiting on deck, Jeff Baker. 3-2. Foul back. Aramis is from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Originally signed as a free agent when he was 16 by the Pirates. He's a remarkable young hitter. He's hit as many as 38 home runs, but he never strikes out 100 times. But this time he swings and misses, and down he goes on a 3-2 pitch. So Wolf takes care of him. That's 4 in a row.
Jeff Baker.
With one out, the batter will be Jeff Baker. Baker, who formerly played with the Colorado Rockies. Jeff born in Germany. His dad graduated from West Point. Baker hitting .287 with 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Wolf delivers, and that's fouled away down the right field line. 0-1 the count to Jeff Baker. One hit, that was that squib single by Andre Ethier. Now the strike one pitch fouled away. Baker might have already been a very good player, but he had a lot of problems. His left wrist, he had arthroscopic surgery 6 years ago. Then later on he had complications. Then he had more surgery on the wrist. Then in '04 he had to leave because of soreness of the wrist. Fouls another pitch away. Then in 2005 he broke his left thumb. He was running the bases while playing for the Colorado Sky Sox. So he's had a lot of reasons to be slowed down, and then he was beamed. The strike two pitch is waved at and missed. The 65-mile-an-hour curveball. The Randy Wolf strikes out Ramirez and Baker. Boy, did that pitch take a while to get up there. And the batter now, Alfonso Soriano. If there is a huge disappointment for the Cubs, and there are many, but Alfonso this year is certainly one of them, hitting only .241. Came up last night with the bases loaded in the third inning and struck out. He takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count to Soriano. The Cubs were so high on him that they gave him an 8-year deal. And he is not too far into that deal as he takes high. Soriano came to the Cubs in '07. 33 home runs, hit .299. So they signed him, and it's been a struggle of late. 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. So Randy Wolf, a little of this, a little of that. He's not going to overpower people. He has 2 strikeouts here in the inning. Top of the second, no score. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way. Soriano fouls it away off to the right out of play. The hitting coach for Chicago is a former Dodger, an outfielder by the name of Von Joshua. And he has 2 cases, I guess you'd call it. Really a struggle. One is Giovanni Soto, who's hitting .220, and the other is Soriano. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Into the windup goes Wolf, hesitates, then sends a fastball that's fouled away. Upstairs off to the right, and the count stays 2-2. 2 down, second inning. Soriano, remarkably gifted, 31 years old, 6'1", 185. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Randy delivers, slow curveball, but it stays up, ball 3. Soriano does have 2 home runs in the past against Randy Wolf, so Randy being extra careful. Giovanni Soto waiting on deck. Now the 3-2 pitch, and it is swung on and popped up. Orlando Hudson goes out and calls and makes the catch for the out. 6 in a row retired by Randy Wolf, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
for joining us for Think Cure, and we remind you you can make cash donations of any amount on each level or a donation of $5 by texting JOIN to 909.
Bottom of the second inning, no score in the ball game. Casey Blake, James Loney, and then Russell Martin against Randy Wells. Right-handed deals, first pitch strike, and the count 0-1. Blake 0 for 3, did have an RBI, one of the two that helped beat Wells in Chicago. Randy comes right back 0-1, and that's fouled away 0-2. Dodgers are trying to do something that they have not done since August 10th and 11th. Have back-to-back victories. Last time they did that on those dates up at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Strike two pitch to Casey Blake. Little ground ball to short. On the run is Theriot to get him. With a nice 6'5" first baseman to stretch into the throw.
Number 7.
So Blake grounds out, one down. Derek Lee certainly helps out with his height. And James Loney checking in. Dodgers, since the All-Star break, as you know, have been pretty much on a treadmill, running in place, not going anywhere. In fact, if anything, they are 2 games under 500 since the All-Star break. They're 3 games under 500 in August. So their inability to really connect a bunch of games in a row to win brought the Rockies and the Giants right back into the fight as Loney singles to right. The game's a 1-out single to right, and the batter will be Russell Martin. Last night's hero with that grand slam home run in the 6th inning, the second of his career. And Martin, first thing he's doing is looking at Larry Bowa. Bottom of the second inning, no score. It is Think Cure day and night. Remember the number 866-554-CURE. And we certainly look forward to accepting your donation. Wells set at the bell, looks over at Loney and decides to go over there. Loney has stolen 7 out of 9. Martin a contact hitter. On deck, Orlando Hudson. Another throw, awfully close. Loney just did get back. So that lets you know maybe he was cheating a little more. Possible hit and run play. But they almost nailed him. All right, Martin waiting. 1 out, second inning, no score. Wells at the belt. Delivers and gets it in there on the inside corner for a strike with his slider. No balls and 1 strike to count. Martin another long look at Bowa. Loney does the same. Wells at the belt. Looks back over at Loney, works Martin, and there's a ground ball down to the hole at short. They get a force play. The throw to first, not in time. Ball was not hit hard enough, and it was also way over to Theriot's right. So 2 down, and Orlando Hudson coming up. Orlando Hudson last night 1 for 3 with a very important sacrifice. And Orlando, the first thing he does is tear out the back line. I've always marveled at that, how there is no rule preventing a hitter from taking out the back line. That's a tribute, I guess, to the fact that Wells throws fairly hard. Right-handed fastball is grounded to third. It is kicked by left fielder Aramis Ramirez, and the Dodgers have runners at first and third. It was a classic case of being caught in between hops. Ramirez let the ball play him, and you are always in trouble when that happened. He waited for it to come to him. It bounced up off the heel of his glove and went on out into left field. They might rule it a base hit, but it should have been fielded. A more aggressive third baseman would have made the play, and they will charge him with an error, and they should. So Hudson reaches on a bad play by Aramis Ramirez. First and third with 2 down, and Randy Wolf coming up. And remember, Randy had a big day with the bat in Arizona, including a home run. So Wells, hard luck now, has to pitch to the pitcher. There's a line drive into right center. A base hit that goes to the wall. In comes Martin. Here comes Hudson to score on a double by Wolf, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Ramirez makes a 2-out error. That allows Randy Wolf to come up and double in two, and the Dodgers now lead 2-0. So Randy really swinging the bat. He now has 11 runs batted in and a home run in Arizona. He's gesturing. He saw a beach ball out there on the track in left field, so Soriano will have to go and get it and clear it off the field. So Wolf's eyes are everywhere. First he doubles in two, then he spots a beach ball, and Rafael Furcal coming up. Randy could no doubt use a breather, and that is supplied as Soriano clears the beach ball off. So 2-0 Dodgers, second inning. Wells set at the belt, the rookie ready and comes back, and the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So a bad play by Aramis Ramirez is promptly cashed in, and the Dodgers jump out in front 2-0. Wells set right at the belt, looks back at Wolf, now to the plate, and it's swung on and fouled away, and the count 0-2. The Cubs with Lee, Baker, Terrio, and Ramirez, Soriano, Fuld, and Bradley, and Giovanni Soto behind the plate. Matt Kemp in the on-deck circle. Wells plants the right foot on that first base side of the rubber. Furcal hitting left-handed, batting .260. Wells at the belt, looks at Wolf, now high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Randy Wells went to school at Southwestern Illinois Junior College. He was a backup catcher who hit 149 in Class A, and that's why he became a pitcher. Randy looks down the barrel to get a sign from Soto, and the 1-2 pitch to Furcal, half swing, he holds up. So says third base umpire Marty Foster, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third game of the series tomorrow, left-hander Ted Lilly, and he'll go up against Charlie Hager. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way is inside, ball 3. With Lilly on the mound tomorrow, the Dodgers plan that they will catch Brad Ausmus to handle Charlie Hager's knuckleball. And Joe Torre said he is thinking about sitting James Loney against the left-hander. 3-2 the count to Rafael Furcal. Wells right foot on the rubber, trying to get out of the inning. Right-hander ready and delivers, and it is swung on and missed. Slider. Furcal strikes out, but the error by Ramirez is a crusher for the Cubs. And at the end of 2, Dodgers 2, Cubs nothing.
Hi, this is Randy Wolf, asking you to join our team in supporting ThinkCure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers. ThinkCure funds life-saving cancer research at City of Hope and Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Donate today by calling 866-554-CURE or visiting thinkcure.org.
Well, with ThinkCure on everyone's mind, we move to the third inning with the Dodgers leading the Cubs 2-0. Giovanni Soto, Sam Fuld, and Randy Wells. And the first pitch to Soto is hit down the right field line, foul and out of play. And the count 0-1. Giovanni Soto is a fellow who, well, is somewhat of a mystery. He had a big year last year. With 285, 23 home runs, 86 runs batted in. Turned around this year to hit just 220. Randy Wolf looks in, gets a sign, and the strike one pitch on the way works its way on the inside corner, and the count 0-2. Giovanni Soto from Puerto Rico, San Juan, went to the American Military Academy. His family wanted to make sure that he got a very good education. He takes inside ball one. He started playing baseball, he said, when he was 3. And by the time he was 12 or maybe 13, his father was convinced that he was going to be a professional baseball player, wouldn't let him play any other sport. The 1-2 pitch to the Cub catcher is swung on and popped up. Loney is calling and waiting and backs up and makes the catch for the out. So Soto pops it up, one away in the third, and the batter is Sam Fuld. One thing that Lou Piniella can file away tonight, the Cubs finally see a Dodger left-hander. If you were listening last night, we pointed out the fact that last year, in 10 games, counting the regular season and the playoffs, the Dodgers never used a left-hander against the Cubs at any time. The pitch now is off the plate to Sam Fuld, ball one. That meant Joe Beimel was in 71 games, never pitched against the Cubs. Clayton Kershaw was in 21 starts, never pitched. The next one to Fuld is off the plate, 2-0 the count. Sam Fuld is a very interesting story. Among other things, he's not a big guy. He's only 5'10", so as a little boy, he would collect playing cards of only outfielders who were under 6 feet. I mean, good for him. He went to Stanford, and he is really a statistician at heart. 2-0 pitch inside, ball 3. But there is one other thing about him that's very important. He is a diabetic, and he has been so since he's 10 years old. He requires insulin twice a day. He injects himself in the morning and again after the game. 3-0 pitch in for a strike. He uses his type 1 diabetes and the condition as a rallying point to help others and make people aware of the disease. 3-1 pitch, Sam takes high, ball 4. And with some of his background plus how hard he plays, Fuld very much of a favorite in Chicago.
Randy Wells.
So a runner at first, one out, and Randy Wells coming up. Wells with the bat has 7 hits, 2 runs batted in. One thing that makes him reasonably dangerous as a pitcher, he does not strike out too often. So Fuld at first. 2-0 Dodgers third inning. The bunt is down and dropped, then picked up by Wolf to throw him out. And on the sacrifice, Fuld advances to second. Dodgers lead 2-0, set up on the error by Aramis Ramirez, and then Randy Wolf doubled in the 2 runs with 2 out. Now Ryan Theriot, the grounded to Loney, coming up. The Cubs not only have Theriot playing short, they had second baseman Mike Fontenot. They were teammates at LSU. Theriot last year hit .307. He takes up high, ball 1. This year, Ryan batting .298. 7 home runs, 47 runs batted in. 29 years old, been with the Cubs briefly in 05 and to stay in 06. Wolf out of a stretch. A look back at second at Sam Fuld, and the breaking ball, a check swing foul off to the right. Slider got the bat. 1-1 the count. When Terrio was at LSU, he led them to the NCAA National Championship back in 2001. Great uncle of his served in the Navy, survived Pearl Harbor. Ryan waiting, and the 1-1 pitch, slider, but it stays inside. 2-1 the count. Ryan Terrio is part owner of a baseball and softball indoor facility in his hometown of Baton Rouge. They call the facility Heart of Champions. They help impoverished areas. 2-1 pitch, and Terrio fouls it away. Asked Terrio, what do you think you might be doing if you weren't playing baseball? He said, maybe a game warden. I was very much into agriculture. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The deuces are really wild. And Randy Wolf delivers, ground ball to the hole. It's going to be underneath the glove of Furcal. That means Fuld will score on the base hit by Terrio, and the Dodger lead is 2-1. Raphael did everything in his power to get to the ball. He wouldn't have had a play, but he would have prevented the run from scoring, but he couldn't do it. So Terrio a single to left, run batted in. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1 in the third, and the batter now will be Milton Bradley. So Terrio delivers. The walk to Fuld is cashed in. Now Bradley grounded to short, switch hitter, batting right-handed, 0 for 1. Bradley with 9 home runs, but only 1 of them hit right-handed. He looks at the first pitch in for a strike. Good changeup. 0-1 to count to Milton. Bradley's record, as you probably know, he has hopscotch from one team to another. I don't believe he's been with a team more than 2 years before moving on. He takes the next pitch, and that's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 years with the Expos, 2 years with the Indians, 2 years with the Dodgers, and then 1 with the A's, 1 with the Padres, 1 with the Rangers. This is his first year with the Cubs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Milton. 31 years old. Lives in Long Beach. Doesn't get the next pitch, and the count 1-2. So Randy Wolf from the Valley going up against Milton Bradley, who went to school at Long Beach Poly. Bradley had a home run high last year. He had 22 home runs for Texas, and he also had an RBI high with 77. There goes the runner, and he's picked off. Loney fires to Furcal, and the tag is put on Terrio, and that's that. So the Cubs gamble, and they are burned, and Randy gives up 1, and at the end of 2.5, Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. Ryan Theriot picked off to end the top of the third inning after driving in the run. And now for the Dodgers, Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, and Manny Ramirez. Beautiful evening, 74 degrees when the game started. Randy Wells ready to go back to work to Kemp. And the first pitch too low and away, ball one. Matt topped the ball up along third, and Giovanni Soto threw him out in the first inning. Wells works quickly, comes right back with a fastball, flared into right field, and it's going to land in front of Bradley. The Matt Kemp, little pop fly single to right, opening up matters in the third inning. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits, and the Cubs 1 run, 1 hit. The error by the Cubs set up the 2 Dodger runs. If you weren't with us, Randy Wolf doubled in 2. Ethier checking with Larry Boa. Wells is all set to pitch. Now Andre finally squares away. Wells set. Kemp off the bag at first, and Andre, it's a little pop fly back at third, angling out as Ramirez to make the catch. So Ethier pops up, Kemp holding at first, and the batter will be Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
A lot of times if you're hanging around the batting cage during batting practice, and one player will hit a big pop fly, and usually somebody else around the cage will holler, "Big league pop-up." Well, Manny Ramirez really hit a big league pop-up in the first inning. And Jeff Baker at second base seemed like he was waiting an eternity for the ball to come down, but it finally did. And Jeff caught it. So Manny is 0 for 1, hitting .311. 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in. Wells at the belt, Kemp off the bag at first. And there he goes. The pitch inside. Soto's throw is not in time. Matt Kemp going in head first has now stolen 26 out of 31. And it was a straight steal. Got that left hand on the bag long before the tag and then stayed on the bag. So Baker covering on the play. 1 ball and no strikes to Manny Ramirez, trying to pick him up. 1 out, bottom of the third. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. Randy Wells set, looks back at Kemp, now comes back to Manny. A big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Manny has struck out 55 times this year. Not that much considering his power. Manny in and out of the box, now back up and waiting. Since he came back from his suspension, he's hit .291, 7 home runs, 25 runs batted in. In this homestand so far, he's hitting .286. Kemp at second, 1 out, third inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Wells at the belt, and the 1-1 pitch, and Manny pops this one up off first, and Derek Lee has a play, and the big first baseman puts it away. So Ramirez has popped up 2, 1 fair, 1 foul, and with 2 down, Casey Blake coming up. So Wells is pitching a lot better than the fact he's down 2-1. The error by his third baseman set up the 2 runs. Ethier has a base hit. They used to call it a bleeder up along third. Kemp flared to right field for a base hit. Now here's Casey. Blake grounded to short in the second inning, batting .280. 14 home runs, 68 runs batted in. Wells plants the right foot, now set, looks back at Kemp, still looking at Matt, now to the plate, and Blake takes low, pushed out in front by Soto. 1 ball and no strikes. Blake trying to pick up Kemp and open up the lead a little bit. Casey hitting .267 with a home run during this homestand. 14 home runs, that's third on the club. 68 RBIs, that's fourth. Now the 1-0 pitch to Casey Blake is taken for a strike, and the count 1-1. Casey took that pitch as if he was going to take it all the way, no doubt about it. Talking briefly to Chad Fairchild. Fairchild, the plate umpire. 1-1 the count to Casey Blake. Wells ready. Randy delivers off the plate. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. He hits 93 on the fastball. Wells 9-5 in his rookie year. Kerry Wood way back in 1998 won 13 as a rookie. Now the 2-1 pitch to Casey Blake is swung on, fouled away. Pitch up and in, and he turned on it. Couldn't do much with the off-speed pitch except hit it over his left shoulder. So 2-2 the count to the man from Indiana. Two and two the count. This is the sixth meeting of the year between the two teams. They split 4 at Wrigley. Dodgers won last night, so they have a slight edge. They've won 3 out of 5. Last year, Cubs beat the Dodgers 5 out of 7, and the Dodgers swept them in the postseason. Fastball inside, and that hits Blake. So Casey Blake nailed by the fastball. That's the 5th time this year that Blake has been hit by a pitch.
First baseman, number 7.
So Casey at first, Kemp with the stolen base is at second. Dodgers trying to do something now with James Loney. You see Duncan messaging to the dugout that Casey got it on the left elbow. James Loney singled to right field in the second inning. Remember, while the Dodgers play over the weekend, the Giants and the Rockies started a 4-game series tonight. They'll play through Monday. Giants were winning 6-1, and it's now in the 6th inning. Bad night for the Rockies for a couple of reasons. Wells set, looks at a dancing Kemp, comes to Loney and works it low, ball 1. Troy Tulowitzki was so ill, upset stomach, they sent him home before the game, and then Aaron Cook went to the mound and hurt himself and had to leave. Josh Fogg came in, immediately gave up a 3-run home run to Aaron Rowan, so the Giants are off and running. Cook had to come out with a sore shoulder. He's had a hyperextension, and it flared up again tonight. 1 ball and no strikes to Loney. Wells delivers, and the fastball is low, ball 2. On deck, Russell Martin. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 big error by Ramirez of the Cubs. Wells reading Soto. Now the right-hander ready. And his 2-0 pitch in for a strike. Good fastball at 93, and the count 2-1. Cubs struggling in a lot of ways. They're 10 games under 500 on the road. As we've said, they're really struggling against the West on the road. Parks are just too big. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to James Loney. And the next one swung on and missed. 2-2. Mentioned it last night, but I can understand about the Cubs thinking the Western Division parks are too big. Always had the feeling way back then when the Dodgers would tear up the league in tiny Ebbets Field. Then they would play the Yankees in the World Series, and it was like a shirt that was way too big. 2 on, 2 out, deuces wild. 2-1 Dodgers. 3rd inning. Loney in and out of the box. It wasn't for nothing that Ernie Banks called Wrigley Field friendly confines. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball to the right side. Baker is up with it, flips over to Lee, and that's it. No runs, 1 hit, a hit batter, and 2 left. So we have 3 innings in the books. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. Is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. By Carl's Jr. Try a Carl's Jr. $6 burger made with 100% Black Angus beef. And by CarMax, the way car buying should be. We go to the 4th inning with the Dodgers leading the Cubs 2-1 as we all think Cure. Don't forget that number, 866-554-CURE. Or thinkcure.org on your computer. Milton Bradley was left at the plate when Ryan Theriot was picked off, committed early and was nailed. Fastball away. Bradley grounded to short in the 1st inning. Break down that .256 batting average. And the killer is hitting only .227 left-handed. 2-0 the count. Milton's father should always be remembered. He was a veteran from Vietnam, awarded a Purple Heart. Ground foul down the line. Milton, 31 years old. Another strike, 2-2. A shattered bat and a ground ball to Blake. Low throw, nice pick by Loney at the other end of it. So Bradley breaks his bat on a ground ball, 1 away, and the batter will be Derek Lee. Our CarMax text question is very timely tonight. Which team do you think will be in 2nd place after this weekend's 4-game series between the Giants and the Rockies? You can text your answer to 86212 on your cell. When the day began, the Rockies were 2 games in front of the Giants. The Giants are leading the Rockies 6-1 in the 6th inning. So by Monday, who do you think will be in 2nd place? That's a strike to Lee. Derek grounded to 3rd in the 1st inning. He had an uncle who played for the Dodgers. LeRon. 1-1 the count. Derek won the batting crown in 2005, the 7th Cub to win a batting championship. Hits that off the end of the stick, and Wolf just keeps on going. Boy, that's got to really be frustrating Big Derek Lee, 6'5", way out in front of a 60-mile-an-hour curveball. And with that great big swing, look at this. And he hits it about 45 feet. Wolf comes down and just keeps on going with it. 2 down, 4th inning. Aramis Ramirez struck out in the 2nd inning. Fouled away. In looking at the Giants and Rockies for the moment, they have had 8 meetings so far this year. They have each won 4, including tonight's game. They have 10 games left head to head. Dodgers have 6 games left with Colorado, 3 upcoming next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then can you imagine, if it gets to that, the last 3 games of the season at home? 1-1. Fly ball to right field. Ethier was overshifted, and he catches it anyway. So Randy Wolf sets him down. Sliders, slow curves, and an occasional fastball, and the Cubs' lead is now 2-1 Dodgers. To you by Lexus, who invite you to the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Hurry, sale ends September 7th. And by Bud Light Lime, the drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. Dodgers lead the Cubs 2-1, and it'll be Martin, Hudson, and Wolf in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dodgers beat the Cubs 2-1 at Wrigley Field. That's a strike. With the Think Cure telethon today, it should be duly noted Hiroki Kuroda donating $25,000, matching the first $25,000 donated. Beautiful gesture by Hiroki Kuroda. 1-1 to Martin. Hit into a force play in the 2nd inning and eventually came home on the double by Randy Wolf. 4th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. Fastball missed. 3-1. Big play so far was Ramirez's error on the ball hit by Hudson, and now there's ball 4 to Martin. So Orlando coming up. The error extended the inning. It should have been over. Ramirez allowing the ball to play him, and then Randy Wolf having a big year with the bat. Knocked in 2. Orlando checking with Larry Boa. Hudson batting .295. On deck, Randy Wolf. Hudson is struck out about 20% of the time. See what that means as far as Martin is concerned. Martin is going. The pitch is outside, so he changes his mind and gets back to first. The Russell was bent for second base, and then when he realized the pitch was taken, he jammed on the brakes and just didn't get back. So there's a play somewhere in there with a 20% strikeout man and Martin, who runs well at first, and they got away with a busted play. Remember, Matt Kemp stole second in the third inning. And there goes Martin, hit and run foul ball. So the first time it didn't work, they put it right back on again, and Hudson fouled it off. Hard to believe they would try it a third time, but you never know. Hudson and Martin watching Boa. One ball and one strike. If Martin doesn't go and this pitch is ball 2, you would certainly expect them to put it on 2 balls, 1 strike. They have to be thinking about it to put the play on twice in a row. He's not gone. 1-2 the count. Dodgers scored 2 in the second inning. The Cubs came back with 1 in the third. And that's it. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. The Dodger-Cubs series has been pretty tough. There were 2 2-1 games at Wrigley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, Hudson's still there. Last night was a very tough game. 2-2 until Martin hit the grand slam in the 6th inning. Randy Wells trying to win his 10th. A catcher who couldn't hit. Two and 2. Nobody out. 4th inning. You have Randy Wolf on deck. Then Rafael for call. Two balls, 2 strikes. Off the plate, ball 3. Hudson, the last 3 games coming into this one, was 5 for 9. Before that, he hit a flat stretch. He had just 3 hits and 17 at bats. So it comes and it goes. He's hitting a solid .295. 3-2. Now let's see if they play run and hit. Martin goes and fouled away. A couple of times a year we explain the difference. Hit and run, you're obligated to swing. Run and hit, you're not obligated naturally to take ball 4. So they were running Martin 3 times so far in this sequence. 1-0. They ran him again 1-1. Held him until now, and they've run him 3-2. So he figures to go. Yep, there he goes. Little number back to Wells. This play is to first, down to second base. Moves Martin, and up comes Randy Wolf. Randy Wolf now has a hit in each of his last 4 at-bats.
This is number 43, Randy Wolf.
He's the first Dodger pitcher to have 11 runs batted in since 1990, when Fernando Valenzuela had 11. So now he walks up with a chance to get number 12. Randy doubled in 2 in the second inning, a shot to right center that went to the wall. Right. He has always been a good hitter. It's no surprise, no fluke, anything but. He has 11 hits. One ball and one strike for Randy. Randy Wells, Randy Wolf. Game 2 of the 4. Ted Lilly, the left-hander, and Charlie Hager, the knuckleballer, tomorrow afternoon. Terrio to the bag, but no play. Two runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs in the 4th. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball away. 2-1. Randy makes contact, so that really makes him dangerous. Strikes out a little less than 25% of the time. Swings and misses. Throws on the wrong side of the bag. Well, Martin back easily. 2-2 the count to Wolf. Giants still leading the Rockies 6-1. They're in the 7th inning. Jonathan Sanchez started that game against Aaron Cook. Cook had to leave with a bad shoulder. They lifted Sanchez. That's a foul ball. 2-2 the count to Randy. When the Cubs come up in the 5th inning, they'll have Baker, Soriano, and Soto. Great rally song here, Havana Gala. We mentioned Hiroki Kuroda matched $25,000 for Think Here, donating that much of his own money. Commissioner Bud Selig also donated $25,000 on behalf of Major League Baseball. Off the plate. The Wells goes all the way with Randy Wolf, 3-2. Time. Randy with something in his eye. Martin at second, 1 out in the 4th, 2-1 Dodgers. Fastball away. So Wells gets himself in a lot of trouble, walking Martin and Wolf. And with 1 out, he has Furcal and maybe Kemp as well. Randy grinning over whatever Mariano Duncan said to him. Probably reminded him that's the first walk that he's received all year. Furcal grounded out and struck out. Rafael batting .260. One away. And ball one. And hold everything, Larry Rothschild, the Cubs pitching coach, going out to talk to Randy Wells. He walked Martin, then he pitched awfully carefully to Randy Wolf and walked him. Now he misses to Fertal on the first pitch, and Larry figures it's time to go out and talk to him. Wells only 26, making the 19th start. He had a stretch. He went 19 1/3 innings to start his major league career, and 18 1/3 without allowing a run. And according to unofficial historian, Wells is the only pitcher on record to toss 18 1/3 scoreless innings to start his Cubs career. There was another pitcher who went 18. That was Albert Spalding in 1876. That's really a record. 1 ball and no strikes. And ball 2. Wells now digging a large hole. His strikeout to walk ratio is about 3-1, but not now. 2-0 the count to Rafael. Fastball lifted down the left field line. Soriano coming over, makes the catch, and hold on. There's a mess at second base. Randy Wolf ran to second along with Martin, and Martin is going to be tagged out. And every now and then the Dodgers are the Dodgers of old. I guess Randy forgot how many outs there were, and he also forgot that Russell Martin was at second base. So this is an old Brooklyn Dodger pick going back to Babe Herman, and Martin paid the price, and the inning is over, and it's 2-1 Dodgers. About the pennant race, but tonight there is extra mental effort about Think Cure, and the man responsible for it, the owner of the Dodgers, here in the booth with us, Frank McCourt. I remember you telling us last year, Frank, that it all goes back to your exposure in Boston with the Jimmy Fund. Is that right?
Yeah, it really does. I wish I could claim an original idea of him, but it was something that I was brought up with back in Boston. My grandfather was an owner of the Braves, and he and his partners, the 5 steam shovels they called them, 5 contractors, in the late 40s started something very modestly called the Jimmy Fund, and of course, long story short, it's grown up to be an incredibly successful charity back in New England. It raises over $70 million a year for cancer research.
And I know that last year was the first year, and people were wondering, Think Cure, what's that all about? But from the responses today, It looks like the thought of Think Cure is firmly established in the minds of the community.
I get the exact same feeling when I talk to folks around the ballpark and people in the community. I think that it's gone from, hey, what's that about, to, hey, you know, this is something with a lot of potential, and we'd like to be a part of it. And the idea, Vin, is to really build a civic, a community asset every bit as important as the Dodgers to Southern California, and that's going to take time, of course.
What a lovely moment it was before the game to see all of the doctors and the nurses walking across from center field, the true heroes who do their work without crowds cheering them on. There's a hopper to the right side, and Hudson makes the play, one away on Baker. Yeah, before, when they walked across from center field, then they got to home plate, and they just, well, it looked like rice at a wedding when they made their throws.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But you're right. That's what it's about. It's about raising, you know, these critical funds so that these doctors and researchers and scientists can do that cutting-edge work, and to do it in collaboration. It's not just, you know, picking one group. It's saying everybody's welcome to be involved in this, and we're going to encourage collaboration. And that's why City of Hope and Children's LA and others, I hope, in time, because if people, you know, knock heads, so to speak, and put their minds together rather than people working in isolation, I think we can accelerate the day when we found a cure for cancer.
Would that not be a miracle? Here's the strike one pitch to Soriano, 1 ball and 1 strike. So today we concentrate. Will we pretty much have the same day every year?
Yeah, we're going to do this on an annual basis, and of course this is just going to be one of the things we do to support Think Cure. But you know, with the Dodgers in this beautiful setting, it's a great way for us, with our media partners and everybody else, and of course with your involvement is tremendous for this charity. It's just a way to bring people in and empower them, you know, to make a difference. It's something that really is important. People can, we can lick this thing if we all work together.
Can you tell us right about now how much money has been raised?
Well, I just learned when I came in here to speak with you, Vin, that we're up to $133,000 for that, towards that goal of $200,000, which is just incredible. You know, we're living in some tough times right now, and the generosity of these fans in this community is really something else. It's very, very touching.
2-2 pitch to Soriano, and that's popped up, and it'll be Orlando Hudson to take care of it for the second out. 200,000, that makes it roughly 67,000 to go. Maybe we can do it.
Well, I hope, you know, that fans do what they can. And you know, I feel that it's not how much you give, but that you get involved. And I remember vividly being a kid back on the East Coast and putting my quarter in that Jimmy Fund piggy bank. And I felt, you know what, I'm making a difference here. I'm going to help find a cure. And of course, that was many, many years ago. But these kids out here, if they can do what they can to help, or anybody do what they can, as I said earlier, it's tough times out there, and we understand that. But it's a generous community, and when Dodger fans and the Dodger family, so to speak, puts its mind to something, I think we can do great things.
We'll remind you again of that number, 866-554-CURE, or you can go on thinkcure.org. Either way, make your donation, and hopefully we'll reach our goal for at least $200,000. When you consider where that money is going, it is well worth the expenditure. Ground ball back at third. Blake, a long throw, has to wind up and got it over there in time. Well, Frank, bless you for your thought, bless you for your efforts, and bless all of those working so hard for Think Cure.
Well, let's thank those that are donating. Let's remember it's for a good cause, and it's for those afflicted with the disease. Let's give them a hand.
Thank you, Frank. 2-1, Dodgers. Go to the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Dodgers will start off with Matt Kemp. Then it'll be Andre Ethier and Manny Ramirez. Matt Kemp tapped out, was thrown out by Soto in the first inning, singled to right, and stole a base in the third. Right. Wells in 4 innings has allowed the leadoff man to get on base twice. Randy Wolf has not allowed a Cub leadoff man to get on. Hard foul ball, 0-2. Frank McCord was telling us a few statistics. One that he mentioned, something like 30 years ago, children who had cancer, the mortality rate was overpowering. Now 95% of children with cancer, and they survive. And the other thing he said, 30 years ago, there might have been 3 million people still living with cancer. Today there's over 11 million. Though they are making inroads on that dreadful disease. 0-2. Even. Strike 3 call. So down goes Kemp.
Right fielder, number 16.
Good fastball. One away, and Andre Ethier squib single up along third in the first inning. Popped up next trip. Andre 1 for 2. Dodgers, with 2 out, had a runner at first, and Hudson hit a ground ball to Ramirez, who let the ball come to him, and he got away for an error. Randy Wolf then doubled in the 2 Dodger runs. The Cubs came back in the third. Fold, the center fielder, walked, and with 2 out, Terrio singled him home, and that's it. It's 2-1 Dodgers with 1 away here in the fifth. One ball and 2 strikes. Manny Ramirez waiting on deck. Andre hitting .284, 25 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Fouled away. Down he goes. Good slider down and in to take care of him. So Wells strikes out Kemp with the fastball, Ethier with the slider, and the batter will be Manny Ramirez. Ramirez has hit 2 towering pop flies, one caught in fair ground by Baker, the other in foul ground by Lee. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. Fastball fouled away. 0-1. Manny 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in. And he turns on a fastball in on the hands and promptly singles to left field. So a 2-out base hit will bring up Casey Blake. That was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, and he was still able to turn and pull it into left field. So now Blake grounded to short and hit on the elbow. 0 for 1, batting .280. Ramirez short lead at first. He has not been involved in anything close to a stolen base. Not like Albert Pujols. First, it was a shock to see Pujols steal 3-0, but then when you looked it up, you saw, wow, he's stolen 12 out of 15. Manny doesn't do the running. That's a strike. 1-1. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1, bottom of the 5th. Foul to the wire. 1-2. Randy Wells, Randy Wolf. For the second time, a terrific pitching duel. Wolf won in Chicago. Wells trying to return the favor here. And lifted to center. Sam Fuld makes a diving catch for the out. First base umpire Wally Bell running out into right field to indicate catch. Tough play. Little Sam is going to make it the hard way. And it's 2-1 Dodgers. On the same pitching staff. Cardinals certainly had the Deans, Paul and Dizzy, and recently the Braves had Phil and Joe. But the Cubs also had a great brother act. They had big Rick Russell and his brother Paul Russell. Together, they were in 511 games. And on this day in 1975, the Russell brothers shut out the Dodgers 7-0. Let's go back to this one. Fouled away, 0-1 the count, with the Dodgers leading 2-1. Sam Fuld at the plate. Smallest center fielder at 5'10", hitting .318. 1 ball and 1 strike. We told you how he defies the odds, having type 1 diabetes and also about 5'10", 180. He is a demon statistician. I mean demon. He was an economics major at Stanford. He's long been a student of stats, signs, spreadsheets, etc. He even worked for Stats Inc. Father, a professor of psychology at the University of New Hampshire. And down he goes with all his credits. 1 away. And the batter now will be Randy Wells.
Randy Wells.
Well, here's a look at our CarMax text message voting. We asked, which team do you think will be in second place after the weekend's Giants-Rockies series? They've split 8. The Rockies are losing tonight. Last we saw it was 6-1 Giants. Fly ball to Ethier for the second out. Anyway, 54% of you say the Rockies will still be in second place. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell. If the Giants hold on to that lead 6-1, they will then be one game back of Colorado in the battle for second place. Ryan Theriot grounded out, singled in the only run, and was picked off. Giants 6, Rockies 1. They're in the 8th inning now. Strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The bunt foul, 0-2. Theriot with Milton Bradley on deck. Theriot had 1 hit last night, 1 for 5. So he's 2 for 7 in the series. 0-2. Fouled away. Sixth meeting of the year between the two clubs. Dodgers, by winning last night, have an edge. They've won 3 of 5. Cubs 7 games back of the Cardinals. Dodgers 3.5 in front of Colorado. Curveball got him, and that'll do it for Theriot. And for the Cubs in the 6th, Wolf strikes out a couple, and at the end of 5.5, 2-1 Dodgers. A 2-1 lead. Also take advantage of perhaps the Rockies bowing to the Giants. It's 6-1 San Francisco. They're in the 8th inning. For the Dodgers now, Loney, Martin, and Hudson. Ball 1. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. That's going to go foul. The only hit, a single by Ryan Theriot in the 3rd inning that scored Sam Fuld. Randy Wolf, just to make it a perfect evening for him, knocked in the only 2 Dodger runs. So the big guns, Ramirez for call, sit quietly, and Wolf right now is doing it all. 1-2 the count to Loney. Randy Wells is doing a great job. He was just downright unlucky. 2-2. Ground ball at 8 up. Aramis Ramirez set the stage. Otherwise, he makes the play. The inning is over. He doesn't make the play, and Wolf doubled in the 2. unearned as far as Wells' record is concerned. Hard ground ball backhanded by Derek Lee. Hangs it for Wells coming over. Maloney a hard out to his opposite number, Derek Lee. And the batter now, Russell Martin. When the Cubs come up in the 7th inning, they have Milton Bradley, Derek Lee, and Aramis Ramirez. Martin hit into a force play and was aboard when Wolf doubled in the 2. Then Martin walked in the 4th inning, and the Dodgers had a little Daffy Dodgers in them. When Wolf ran to second base on a fly ball, Martin was already there, and it brought back the memories of the stories of the Daffy Dodgers of the late 20s and 30s, Babe Herman, etc. 1-1. Of course, in the playoff with the Mets, they loved it in New York when the Dodgers had 2 men out at the plate on one play. Remember that? One ball and 1 strike. Fastball pulled foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Martin hitting .261, 4 home runs, 38 runs batted in. And that's going to be hit right at the second baseman, Jeff Baker. You know, the Dodgers' annual celebration of Hispanic culture, food, music, and baseball returns September 5th at Viva Los Dodgers, presented by Coca-Cola and Hyundai. Admission included with your ticket to that night's game versus San Diego. So buy now at Dodgers.com/Viva or call 866-DODGERS. Orlando Hudson hit the ground ball that ate up Ramirez and hit back to the box. Ball 1 to Orlando. Hitting .294. Foul that back. 1-1. To repeat, Milton Bradley, Derek Lee, Aramis Ramirez, and if anybody gets on, Jeff Baker. They're due up for the Cubs in the 7th. Two and 1. Slider down and dirty. Tomorrow afternoon, Ted Lilly and knuckleballer Charlie Hager. Sunday, Ryan Dempster and Chad Billingsley. Comebacker knocked down by Wells, plenty of time. And the Dodgers are done. 1-2-3. So at the end of 6, Dodgers 2, Cubs 1.
and supporting Think Cure, the official charity of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Think Cure funds life-saving cancer research at City of Hope and Children's Hospital, Los Angeles. Donate today by calling 866-554-CURE or visiting thinkcure.org.
Dodgers 2, Cubs 1, seventh inning. Milton Bradley, Derek Lee, and Aramis Ramirez. Randy Wolf has zeroed in on the first pitch, and he does it again. So 16 of 21 first pitches have been strikes. He'd made 75 pitches going into the seventh inning, leading 2-1. 0-1 to Milton Bradley. And he hits a fly ball to Matt Kemp. One away. The Cubs are here tomorrow afternoon. The left-hander Ted Lilly against knuckleballer Charlie Hager. And Sunday, Ryan Dempster and Chad Billingsley. Then the Dodgers will leave on Monday as Dempster works on his gum. Dodgers head for Colorado for the 3-game series. How big that series will be? Well, in a sense, it depends on this weekend. Giants playing the Rockies and the Dodgers with the Cubs. One ball and one strike to Derek Lee. Grounded to third and hit a slow curve off the end of the bat. And Wolf picked it up and just kept on going to first base. 2-1. Derek at 6'5", spent about 9 years from 2 until 11 with his dad playing baseball in Japan. Ball 3. Wolf has walked one. That was Sam Fuld back in the third inning, and that walk was cashed in for the Cubs' only run. And ball 4. So Derek Lee with 24 home runs, and Wolf kind of works very carefully to put him on. Now Aramis Ramirez, who has struck out and flied to right. Ramirez had that bad shoulder and missed 50 games. Comes back to hit .319. 10 home runs, 38 runs batted in. However, it's a far cry of Ramirez the last couple of years. 27 home runs last year, 26 the year before that, 38 the year before that. So with the Dodgers leading 2-1, they could get hurt in a hurry, and Hung-Chi Kuo begins to throw in the Dodger bullpen. 0-1 to Ramirez with Baker on deck. 0-2. Good fastball, just got it right by him. We mentioned it just before he struck out in the second inning. Ramirez, most strikeouts in years, 94, where he had about 5 years in a row. He struck out about 60 times. Now he's on the ropes 0-2. Ball 1. Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Aramis' father was a doctor and his mom an accountant. 1-2. Foul tip held by Martin, and for the second time in the game, Aramis Ramirez strikes out. That is really hard. And for Randy Wolf hitting a gem, he has 5 strikeouts. Just ran that fastball by him. So the batter now, Jeff Baker, struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2. 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. Off speed, slow freight. Ball 1. Bradley hit a fly ball to center. Ramirez hit a fly ball to right. And Wells hit a fly ball to right. That's going to go down to Blake to second, and they get the fourth play. So no runs, no hits, a man left. And for 7 innings, Randy Wolf has limited the Cubs to 1 hit. And the Dodgers lead the Cubs 2-1. The crowd now asked to stand and join in the singing of God Bless America, and then take me out to the ball game.
Accompanying Steve is Nancy B. on the Dodger Stadium organ.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Steve Tyrrell.
Made 88 pitches in 7 innings, and Juan Pierre will now come up and hit for him. So Randy Wells, trailing 2-1, sees Wolf go out. Wells meanwhile knows he is due to bat 4th when the Cubs bat in the 8th inning. So here's Pierre. Juan hitting .318. He is 2 for 4 against Wells in the past. Ball 1. Pierre, coming off the bench, has 9 pinch hits as Randy looks on. Little ground ball up the middle. A great effort by Terrio, but Pierre has himself a leadoff single. So for Juan Pierre, his 10th pinch hit. Mark Loretta has 11. So Pierre is right back of him. Great effort by Theriot. He's knocked in the only Cub run. Nothing he could do about Pierre. And here is Rafael for a call. Down in the Dodger bullpen, left-handed George Sherrill begins to loosen up. Pierre with 23 stolen bases. A slap bunt foul back. 0-1 the count. That's a very good play with Pierre at first, because the shortstop Theriot was breaking to cover second when Pierre was leading off and Furcal was showing bunt. So if Rafael had slapped that ball as he tried to do, there would not have been a shortstop to make the play. In the 8th inning, Seth Smith just homered against Jeremy Affeldt. The Giants, however, are leading 6-2, and they're in the bottom of the 8th inning in Colorado. 0-1 to Furcal. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another marvelous performance for Randy Wolf. 7 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, struck out 5, and it was Wolf who knocked in the only 2 Dodger runs. One and 1. Two runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. They scored their 2 runs in the 2nd inning. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. They picked up that run in the 3rd. Pierre goes on a pitch out. Soto's throw is in time to get him. So that was a good call, pitch out, and they nail Pierre. Soto in position. Theriot right there waiting for the slide. So for Pierre, 10 times he's been caught, 23 times he's been successful, and we have 1 out. Popped up left side, Theriot, the shortstop. Two down, 7th inning, and Matt Kemp coming up. We're at that kind of a night, 2-1. The Cubs are under 500 in 1-run games. They are 15-17. The Dodgers are 5 games above 500 because they've been so successful in 1-run games here. They are 17-6 at home, and Randy comes out leading 2-1. Ball 1 to Kemp. Thrown out, single to right, struck out. Stole a base. 1 ball and no strikes. And a breaking ball hit the left center. Here's Hull, and this time he can't make the play. And into second base goes Kemp, in there. Sam Falda made a fine diving catch on a ball hit by Casey Blake in the 5th inning. Couldn't repeat. So Kemp, a 2-out double, and of course the fact that Pierre was thrown out trying to steal is awfully important. And now let's see Lou Piniella making his way to the mound. And they'll go to the bullpen, and we'll be back. to 90999. Donate $5 through your phone bill. Standard text messaging rates apply. Anything at all will be gratefully and happily received for Think Cure. Dodgers lead 2-1. A 2-out fly ball double for Matt Kemp. And John Graybo, a left-hander, comes in to pitch to Andre Ethier. Ball 1. John working on Ethier, who's hitting .283, 25 home runs, 83 RBIs. Graybo is a local boy born in Arcadia and lives in San Gabriel. He went to San Gabriel High School, 1-1. He had arthroscopic elbow surgery in 2000. So that put him out for a while. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2. Graybo signed by the Pirates, 6'2", 205. 30 years old. John will be 31 in November. Basically been with the Pirates and joined the Cubs this year. Foul ball, still 1-2. Basically fastball, curveball, and changeup. Last year, left-handers hit .239 against him. Check swing. They look at third. No swing, said Marty Foster. Randy Wells pitched at Dandy, made 107 pitches, and might still be out there, except for Randy Wolf's 2-run double back in the 2nd inning. Little ground ball. Baker is on it. Well, Graybo comes in, gets his man. The Dodgers come up empty despite a single and a double. They lead 1, and at the end of 7, 2-1 Dodgers. California Toyota dealers. Toyota, moving forward. And by Carl's Jr. Try a Carl's Jr. $6 burger made with 100% Black Angus beef. The pitchers, neither one deserved to lose, that's for sure. And you match them up, and you can see that Wells gave up the 2 runs, set up on the 2-out error by Aramis Ramirez, and then cashed in by Wolf with his double. For Randy, we have 75 pitches there, but he also made 13, so through his time, he actually came out after 88 pitches and gives the ball now to George Sherrill, and the volunteer from Tennessee picks it up. Sherrill, originally signed by the Mariners, spent the last year and a half with Baltimore, and Soriano, Soto, and Fuld up there. Starts him off breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Soriano, 19 home runs, so he can hurt you with one swing. One ball and one strike. Soriano's high in home runs. A couple of years ago with the Nationals, he hit 46. Two and one to count. Alfonso Soriano. Off the plate, 3-1 the count. It was in November of 2006 when Alfonso signed an 8-year deal with the Cubs. 8 years. And he's aboard. So Soriano opens up the 8th inning with a walk. In looking back through the game, that's the one thing that Randy Wolf prevented. He did not allow a leadoff man to get aboard. And so for the first time, the Cubs have a tying run at first, nobody out, with Soto, Fuld, and Grabo, the pitcher spot, due up. Soto hitting .218. That's a big come down for him. Soriano at first. He has stolen 8 out of 10. Big slow curveball for a strike. 0-1 the count. Soto last year hit .312 with 5 home runs against left-hand pitching. This time a fly ball to right center. Kemp is there. One away. That'll bring up Sam Fuld. F-U-L-D. Sam looking down to third base to check with Mike Quaid to see if there might be some kind of a play on. No home runs, batting .311. Sam Fuld played 4 years at Stanford. Set a College World Series record. 24 hits. Graduated with a degree in economics. And he is pursuing his master's degree in statistics. Breaking ball strike. Sam says he's a very lucky guy. His father is Jewish, his mother is Roman Catholic. So he always celebrates both Christmas and Hanukkah. 27, he'll be 28 in November. 0-1 to Sam. Sam's mom says that he didn't have a baby blanket or a worn out teddy bear. He had baseball stats book with him like a security blanket. He kept the history of the game and the numbers and loved it. 1-2. Five or 6 years old, they say Sam was computing batting averages and earned run averages. There goes Soriano. The pitch in the dirt gets away from Martin. Soriano slid into second, so had no idea what had happened at the plate. No swing on Fuld, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Soriano steals second base. For the Cubs, it is only the second time tonight they've had a man at second base. Fuld reached second in the 3rd inning, and Terrio singled him in, and that's it. Terrio picked off in the 3rd. Lee was forced at second in the 7th. So Soriano, the tying run at second, 1 out. 2-2 the count to Sam Fuld. Foul back, and look out. The bat goes flying in, hit an empty seat. And that youngster came up with a bat. Now let's see. Sam just won another bat. He might make a trade. I think that's what he's going to do. No, he started over, and now one of the ushers takes the bat and puts it back in. I mean, that is a working tool. Just an old baseball bat to anybody else, I guess. 2-2 to Sam. And the bat goes safely back in the rack. Meanwhile, something on the field retrieved by Matt Kemp. So that has to be taken off. Sam Fuld, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 8th inning. Dodgers 2, Cubs 1. Soriano, the tying run at second base. Big spot in the game. And popped in the air, foul, out of play. Fuld is 5'10", about 185. He was a 10th round pick by the Cubs. Started to play professionally in 05. 2 years ago had 6 at bats, but that's all. And now trying to stay in 09. Fouled away. Fuld would certainly look at the stats if he were up here. Coming into this game, he had walked 6 times and he had struck out 6 times. So what did he do tonight? He walked for the 7th time and he struck out for the 7th time. 2-2. Fastball missed. So a mighty big pitch right now. Jake Fox comes out on deck to bat for Graybow. Tying run Soriano at second, 1 out. 3-2. Ground ball to short. Soriano has to go back to the bag, and going back to the bench is Sam Fuld. 2 down, and Jake Fox coming up. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit. That's right, 1 hit for the Cubs. Jake Fox is from Indiana, but he went to the University of Michigan, and he now lives in Arizona. 3rd round pick for the Cubs. Ball 1. Jake plays a lot of positions: catcher, first, third, outfield, anywhere they'll let him play. Built somewhat like a fullback, about 6 feet, 210. And he hits a 1-hopper for call. And the Cubs are stymied again. Leadoff walk, and they leave him. And at the end of 7.5, 2-1 Dodgers. about it. Hopefully we're doing things about it. And all the while, a terrific ball game unfolding here at Dodger Stadium. Carlos Marmol out of the Dominican coming in. He will be the third Cubs pitcher. Randy Wells went 6 2/3. Then John Grable came in and got Ethier, and now Marmol. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Jonathan Broxton tuning up. And the Dodgers have Manny Ramirez, Casey Blake, and James Loney. George Sherrill, by the way, made 18 pitches in getting through the 8th inning. The paid attendance tonight, another whopper, and of course it figures. These have been so important and exciting games. 51,579. 5-1, 5-7-9, and here's Manny. Popped up, fouled out, single to left. Marmol has had a lot of control problems. First pitch, a towering drive to right center. A mile high and caught by Sam Foe. Whoa, what a play by Little Sam. Wow. I mean, he is 5'10". Boy, that was a great play. Maybe not so great to Manny Ramirez. Watch this. First of all, that thing was up in the heavens, and then a perfectly timed leap there. And he comes back with it. Huge play. Takes a home run away from Manny, and the batter now is Casey Blake. Ball one. They talk about a play that Sam made in Chicago, banging up into the ivy after a spectacular catch and then throwing out a runner on base. 1-1. What a wonderful play. And in a 2-1 game, bottom of the 8th. Manny not showing much expression. Watch the pitch of Marmol. Yes. Way to go. But it's still 2-1 Dodgers. And as a line drive, base hit to center. So Marmol, who has really been struggling from what we heard, continues. He has walked 52 and struck out 67. Final score in Colorado, the Giants beat the Rockies 6-3. Jonathan Sanchez the winner, Aaron Cook the loser, and more importantly for a team in a pennant race, the Rockies' Aaron Cook had to leave with what we believe is a hyperextension of his right shoulder. So here is James Loney. A little foul out of play, 0-1. James hitting 278, single to right, grounded to second, grounded to first. 0-1. Marmol has been in 61 games. This would be 62. He's allowed 1 home run, and that's remarkable if he pitches most of the time in Wrigley Field, and almost allowed number 2, except for Sam Foe. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carlos, 26, 27 the middle of October. 1-2. Little slider at 85. Last year, left-handers hit only 180 against him, and right-handers hit 098. One and two. 2-2. Loney in and out of the box on deck. Russell Martin. Matt Kemp has a single, a double, and a stolen base tonight. Interested spectator right now. Loney, a little ground ball to Baker. The force, the high throw, not in time. Two down. Well, here are the final numbers for our CarMax text message question. Remember, we asked, which team do you think will be in second place after this weekend's Giants-Rockies series? And despite the fact the Rockies lost their first game tonight, they lead the Giants by 1. 54% still stay with the Rockies, saying they will stay in second. Hard five back of the Dodgers, that's another story. Russell Martin hit into a force play, walked, and a soft line drive to Baker, the second baseman. Another throw, and Loney back. Remember, James has stolen 7 out of 9. Martin 0 for 1 against Marmol, so nothing to learn from that. Fastball lifted to right field. Bradley is there. All right, we have 8 innings in the books. 2 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 1 hit for the Cubs. A sensational catch by Sam Fuld, and it looks like an appearance from John Broxton. Did not pitch last night, but he certainly pitched the night before against the Cardinals. That was that tough game when Albert Pujols walked, stole second, took third on the overthrow, scored on a fly ball by Matt Holliday, and the Cardinals won the game 3-2. So Broxton, losing that one, will now face Theriot, Bradley, and Lee in the 9th inning. Theriot grounded out, singled for the only hit that the Cubs have, and that scored Sam Fuld, and struck out last time up. Against Broxton, Theriot is 0 for 3. Sam Fuld, cap off, draping on the railing, did his part to keep it 2-1, and now we'll see about the 9th. Manny Ramirez didn't show much expression, but that had to hurt to lose that home run. So Theriot, then Bradley, then Lee. 1 for 8 amongst them. Fouled away. Theriot, somewhat of a toe dancer. If you look at his left foot, he's up on his toes, then swings the leg in. Ryan hitting .299, 5'11", 180. Flat-footed. And there it goes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Broxton's numbers, besides 7 and 1, he has walked 24 and he has struck out 83. Better than 3-1. 1-1 to Terrio. Ball 2. Cubs are 5 games under 500 against Western Division teams and 3-11 in Western Division ballparks. 2-1. Little ground ball to Orlando Hudson. One down, and Milton Bradley coming up. The Cubs came into this game having lost 8 of 11, and they're down 2-1 with 1 hit tonight. It was a clean single to left by Ryan Terrio that just got under Rafael Furcal's glove and went on through. So for Piniella, frustrated last night and no doubt down in the dumps right now. Right. As we mentioned earlier, one reason the Cubs wanted Bradley, signed him to a 3-year deal, is he's a switch hitter and they can get a left-handed bat in there. But this year he's hitting only .227 left-handed. Fouled away. 0-2 to Milton. 0 for 3 tonight and 0 for 7 in the series. On deck, Derek Lee. Bradley does not have an at-bat against Broxton up until now. One and two. Milton's been playing this game in the big league since the year 2000, so I'm sure he's hit the dust a lot. And got him on a fastball borderline. Milton thought it was high, and Chad Fairchild rung him up. Take a look. Well, Milton didn't put on a big violent act, but he got the short end of that. So with 2 out, 9th inning, 2-1 Dodgers, and Derek Lee with his 24 home runs standing in the way, and everybody up 51,579. Fouled away. Lee is 2 for 6 in the past against Broxton. No home run. The 1 home run for the Cubs that Broxton has allowed was to Alfonso Soriano. Broxton this year, by the way, has allowed 4. Ramirez has to think about the error that set up the 2 runs way back in the 2nd inning. One ball and 1 strike. Tomorrow afternoon, left-hander Ted Lilly and knuckleballer Charlie Hager. Sunday afternoon, Ryan Dempster and Chad Billingsley. 1 ball, 1 strike. And ball 2. Been remarkable. The Cubs only hit Ground ball single to left in the third inning to drive in their only run. Fouled away. So the deuces are wild indeed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2-1 Dodgers. An out away from increasing their lead on Colorado to 4.5. Fouled away. Jonathan Broxton has made 13 pitches here in the 9th inning. 2-2 to Derek Lee. Got him. Slider does the damage. Broxton strikes out Bradley on a high fastball, Lee on a slider, and the Cubs go 1-2-3 with only 1 hit to show for their night's work. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Randy Wolf, the winner. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for the Cubs. Randy Wolf, certainly the player of the game. 88 pitches and a 2-run double to win the game with the bat. So Randy is now 8-6. Tough luck loser is Randy Wells.